Kazakhstan is one of the most multinational countries which gathered representatives of more than 130 ethnicities and nations. Each ethnicity has unique traditions, inimitable holidays, interesting stories and amazing recipes. Recipes of kindness and peace, recipes of respect to your own roots and other people's culture, recipes for friendship.
Hello, this is the program Recipe for Friendship, and my name is Alevtina Madyarova. Today, I invite you to get acquainted with Ukrainian ethnic group. We flew to Astana to join the celebration of the holiday of Ukrainian creativity. Today, we will plunge headlong into a whirlwind of Ukrainian dances, and it is difficult to sit still when looking at them. We will sing along with spiritual songs, many of which managed to conquer the entire space of the former Soviet Union. And also we will admire the bright Ukrainian costume and get acquainted with traditional crafts. Festival of Folk Art that is held under the auspices of the People Assembly of Kazakhstan has already become a good tradition at the capital of Kazakhstan. Hundreds of participants come here from all the cities to sing, dance, and share their culture, and at the same time, again and again, prove that the traditions of the people are not forgotten and they still warm up the hearts of folk lovers. In Kazakhstan, there is a Republican Ethno Association, the Rada of Ukrainians of Kazakhstan. This is an association of legal entities. Practically in all areas of our country, there is a presence of our regional associations, both in small towns and in cities. For example, in Ekibastuz, in Shaptanda, and Shymkent. The Ukrainian ethnic group today is among the 5 biggest in Kazakhstan, occupying the 4th place after the Kazakhs, Russians, and Uzbeks. The history of the migration of these people to virgin lands, as well as many others, was not as easy as it may sound. One of the significant stages of the resettlement of Ukrainians occurred in the late 19th, early 20th century and is associated primarily with the opening of the Siberian Railway and Stolypin agrarian reform. It was during this period that the foundation of the Ukrainian community in Kazakhstan was laid. Based on the results of these migrations, Ukrainians made up the majority of the population in the northern regions of Kazakhstan on the vast territory of the steppe, referred to in historiography as the Grey Wedge. Today, about 500,000 Ukrainians live in our country, and Rada unites them. Rada has been operating since 2001, and for 10 years now, it has become a tradition to hold the International Republican Festival, where guests from the former CIS and Europe get together. Today we have a guest from Slovenia, from Bratislava, Mr. Kolonyak. He is the director of the Ukrainian theater in Slovenia. Today, almost all regional centers of our state has gathered here to compete in the performing of a song or a dance. As you can see, we have the big exhibition of folk applied art. Well, it's a tradition. We do not break the tradition. This is a folk art, and we're given the opportunity to engage in this creativity. The International Festival of Ukrainian Creativity is primarily a holiday. Guests and participants come here to, as people say, to see and showcase themselves. In general, this event is held within the framework of the Ruhani Zhangaru program. Strengthening of public accord, national unity, popularization of our Kazakhstani ethnic groups, and our ethnic group makes a big contribution to the palette of the ethnicities of our state. And we have 138 ethnicities. Ukrainian ethnic group is one of the largest. There are 500,000 of Ukrainians in Kazakhstan. They make a worthy contribution both to the development of the state, politics, economy. Young people are happy to adopt traditions and culture. In each regional center, we have Sunday schools. This is due to great support of the state. They work at the expense of the state, where we have the opportunity to study the culture of the Ukrainian people and the language. Of course, the main event and the main part of the event was a concert in which almost all Ukrainians of Kazakhstan seemed to take part. And among the fans of folk art, people are very different. They are different in age, in professions, but they are all united by a love for Ukrainian culture. It's the national ensemble Zadorinka. It's more than 30 years old. That's the kind of composition we live in the Akmola region, just 50 kilometers from Astana. What motivated you specifically to sing Ukrainian songs? We sing not only Ukrainian songs. We sing in Kazakh, in Russian, in Ukrainian. We sing Cossack songs. What's your favorite song in Ukrainian language? Sorochka. It's a song about a mother. A mother is embroidering her daughter's chemise, and now her daughter remembers that her mother used to embroider her shirt, and now she does the same for her daughter and remembers her mother. My mother embroidered my shirt. An ornament was a cross.
Не була, виконуй, Тоню, мама говорила, життя, закони, істини прості, не зраждуй землю, що тебе взростила, не залишай нікого у біді. А сорочка мамина біла, а сорочка мамина серцю мила, а сорочка мамина зігріває, я її до серденько пригортаю. А сорочка мамина біла, а сорочка мамина серцю мила, а сорочка мамина зігріває, я її до серденько пригортаю.
I have tears in my eyes. At first glance, there is a big difference between the cultures of Ukraine and Kazakhstan, but at the same time, they have a lot in common. Let's take as an example our costume. Velvet embroidered vests in the women's costume, or say trousers in the men's, and also complemented with a kaftan scroll. It reminds something, doesn't it? Shirt, trousers, then shoes and boots. It's like Gogol Road. Turn around, let's have a look how beautiful she is. Participants of the Zelony folk ensemble attracted my attention with colorful costumes, but among other things, this ensemble has an interesting history. They told me, for example, how their relatives used to come to help them with the construction of the house, and from the train station they had to go on foot many kilometers, and the guests decided to stay, as a result, for almost a year. It was all in the village of Vishnyovka. We came from the village of Joly, it's not far from here. Before the village was called Vishnyovka. And our ensemble last year celebrated its 30th anniversary. Not many people who were in the forefront of the ensemble are alive, but the ensemble is still here. We sing Cossack songs, Ukrainian and Russian songs. But since people in our ensemble are not very young, we like to sing serious songs. Now the Zelony ensemble is rightfully considered one of the veterans of the festival. They are welcomed with warm applauses. Today we participate in the third festival of folk art, and in general we were direct participants of the first festival, where we were winners and took the great Grand Prix. Today many creative bands of our district participate in this festival. It gives a very serious impetus to development, what we do at home, and then when we come here, it is a great motivation for the development of folk art in our area. One of the participants showed the similarity of Ukrainian and Kazakh cultures from an unexpected side. She performed a folk Ukrainian song playing kobys. How about that? I like to dance more, but singing, this is my hobby too. So you connected Ukrainian music to a Kazakh instrument. Was this your personal initiative, or did someone submit this idea to you? Well, my family. My mom writes me this melody, which I play, she does the arrangement, and everyone seemed to like it. Family connection in such bands is not uncommon. Here everything is classical. The talent is passed on from mother to daughter. We came from the city of Atyrau. Our wonderful band is called Hutaryanka, a vocal and dance ensemble. Girls, what songs do you have in your repertoire? We have Червона Рута, Rushnik, Cossack songs. Well, while some sing and dance, others demonstrate their crafts. All this, of course, applies to national Ukrainian themes with inherent colors and no technique. In 2004, we organized this group, Cherivnitsa. We started with traditional embroidery. We made towels, outfits, for example, like this one that I'm wearing now. Shirt, corset, plaiting on a skirt, apron. And we embroider everything with beads. I did this one myself. This pattern is taken from the iconic towel. We had some sketches, and we used them. Ukrainian embroidery, both red and beaded, one of the reasons for the pride of Ukrainian needlewomen. And what is characteristic to it are national motives. They are not forgotten in the 21st century. Little to say, they are not forgotten in their homeland. They are more than popular there. And in other countries, women of fashion are not averse to trying on an elegant embroidery or a necklace woven from beads. All this is in great demand and looks very bright and attractive. The holiday of Ukrainian creativity is an outstanding success. Songs you can listen to forever, dances you can look at them for eternity, and the costumes are above all praise. Fashion designers, take ideas, they will come in handy. Another kind of traditional Ukrainian needlework, making amulets that protect the house from an evil eye. I make amulets, they bring good luck. These are traditional Ukrainian protection. I just modified it a bit in my own way, brought my own zest. They're like my own beings, like my children. These amulets are already sold in France, in England, in Germany, and in Greece. Usually it was hung out in a prominent place at the entrance or in the kitchen. This creature has a birthday on the 10th of February. All amulets creatures share this one birthday date. It is celebrated. Garlic is like protection from evil spirits, pepper and garlic. Sunflowers bring happiness. They represent the sun. Money in a bag is for happiness and prosperity in the house. And such a nice little creature is sitting and guarding your home. It should be noted that protection from evil spirits and other superstition occupied an important place in many cultures. Remember at least how we celebrated the Holy Night. Traditionally, while guests and hosts are sitting at a set table, there should be metal objects under it, again, as amulets. It was believed that metal, iron, drives away all evil forces. Under the table they put hay, and under it, iron things. Children had to touch it with their bare feet so that their legs would be strong and healthy. Thus, peppers, garlic, sickles, and scythes, all this can be useful not only in the household but also in protection of a home. You know, there are traditions in Ukraine. There are witches, after which the cow does not give milk. The witch milks a cow, and after it, there is no milk. Therefore, the owner takes the puppy. When he gets to the cattle, he takes the puppy, and this puppy he spreads on the threshold in front of the barn, because when the witch will come, she will collect the grains and won't touch the cow. She will be distracted. Yes, she won't have time to get to the cow. When roosters will sing, the first roosters in the morning, the evil force disappears completely. And while she will collect the puppy on the threshold to the barn, she will not have time to do something bad. Since the conversation slowly moved to a set table topic, let's remember how some Ukrainian dishes are cooked. By the way, they are very popular in Kazakhstan. Well, as usual, the most pleasant part of mastering the culture is mastering their cuisine. With me, our new friends, girls of middle age, as they call themselves. And there are two dishes we will cook today, without which there cannot be a Ukrainian table. This is a sour cabbage and vareniki with potatoes. As they said in the olden days, without cabbage, your stomach is empty. You will see traditional cabbage salad in the summer on any Ukrainian table. And for the winter, careful housewives make preparations. They thinly cut the cabbage, they grate a carrot, and in addition to these ingredients, they need salt. No vinegar, no sugar, no spices. Everything is natural. And we crumble it with our hands until we see some juice. And how long will this cabbage stay? In general, cabbage should stay in the house for 3 days, in the heat. It is fermented, and we poke it here so that the juice could come out. Now we need to lay our cabbage in a saucepan, cover it with a lid and press it on top of it. Squeeze it. In the meantime, let's cook vareniki. Vareniki, or dumplings, have a special place on the Ukrainian table. Yes. For real Ukrainian vareniki, the usual recipe for the dough is not suitable. This requires a special approach. We will need yogurt, more kefir, eggs, sugar, salt, soda, and flour. How the dough is cut for Ukrainian vareniki. Every hostess does it her own way. You can just do it like a sausage. You can. Some completely roll out the dough and cut it with a glass to get the same identical circles. The filling can vary by season and region. It can be cherry or cottage cheese and mushrooms and cabbage. We decided to cook classical potato vareniki.
Під кафе не сказала, під котре я прийшов. Тебе нема, підманула, підвела. Ти ж мене підманула, ти ж мене підвела, ти ж мене молодого з ума розуму звела.
So here with a song, with jokes, with funny stories, at least a couple of dishes from our Ukrainian cuisine are ready. And I see that every hostess has her own way of doing it, especially the edges of dumplings. Of course. So what, then we just boil them and it's all about the delicious roast? Yes? For this we have onion, bacon, and sour cream. Yes, it is called shkvarechki. A nourishing table and merry songs, this is perhaps what the Ukrainian traditional way of life is associated for most of us. And you have to agree that it is gratifying that under our common shanarak, in our large common house, there is a place for everyone, regardless of nationality.
Над вертепом звізда ясна, увесь мир осіяла. Над вертепом звізда ясна, увесь мир осіяла. Де Христос родився, диво кротився, як чоловік перед Богом, вилинає склонився.
Тебе чекатиму, мой козак, козаку козаче буде бій, я не плачу, рідний мій, Україну неньку захисти, у моєму серденьку завжди ти.
I want to see only peace in our state, in our lands of Kazakhstan. We were born here. These are our roots. Our parents once worked on virgin land, and we sing about our beloved land because we were born here, we love this land, and we don't want to move anywhere else. Our children, our grandchildren are here. Until we meet again in our new adventures and meetings, yours Alevtina Madyarova.